gentlemen, and welcome to the Sleeper Hold, where there are no disqualifications on the topics and falls count anywhere. Joining us, as always, the Kluganator to my far left, and just next to me is the insider, Eric Ziggler. We welcome you here to the Sleeper Hold as I finish up putting down a few notes here. We are, well...
Just a minute, you're unprepared.
I was damn close to being prepared, okay? Anyway.
Keyword, damn close.
Anyway, now I'm prepared. We're ready to go. We're here. We hope you're enjoying your Thursday evening, and we're here to hopefully make it a lot better with a discussion all about professional wrestling over this next hour. And to start off, we're going to go ahead with a little bit of World Wrestling Entertainment news. First off, I've read recently that the Revival are frustrated with their position. Dash and Dawson are frustrated with where they're at in WWE, and they asked for their release right after their match, their victory against Lucha House Party on Raw. Like, they were still in their gear and everything. They went back there and asked for their release.
I think they might be more frustrated because they'll probably be off TV for a couple weeks now.
I would say for a few months, probably, yes.
Yeah.
WWE won't grant their release, however, because they're probably going to go right to AEW, and WWE sees them as a threat.
Which, you know, I've also read myself that they're making a push to keep contracted talent that if they can get on paper, they're telling, from what I've been reading, they're telling independent talent that they want to sign. If you can show us a deal on paper, we'll either match it or double it.
They said they will...
If they'll sign on the spot.
Yeah, they said, here, if you're willing to show us a deal from another company that you're being offered, we will give you more than that. And if they sign on the spot, that's when they double it.
Oh.
So, WWE's really trying to grab a hold of those indie stars before AEW or Ring of Honor or New Japan.
Or Impact.
Yeah, but no, what I read
just
is...
to know, guys, my contract is coming up, so...
oh, damn. Is Vince calling?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
he's not liable to say it this time. Anyway, basically what the Revival are probably going to do, since WWE won't grant the release, is they're just going to sit out the rest of their contract just like Neville did.
That's what I said. They'll probably be off TV for a few more weeks.
Which, you know, speaking of which, you got a little Neville news.
Yeah, that's right.
When it's my turn, you know.
We'll be there here shortly, I'm sure. Anyway, also, apparently Dolph Ziggler was offered a role as a producer backstage with WWE, and he turned it down, and there are rumors saying he's going to stay with the company, and there's rumors saying that he's going to leave after January 31st.
So, have you noticed, like, here recently, there's been a lot of rumors circulating between either the end of January or February 1st.
Uh-huh, that's right. Kind of like Kenny Omega.
And Kushida.
Kushida as well. But no, I mean, Dolph Ziggler even, like, what's really fueling people's suspicions about this is he even changed his name on Twitter to Nick Nemeth, which is his real name.
Right.
Instead of Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, and I think he was promoting his comedy shows, which, I mean, you know...
He's been doing comedy for a while.
Right. And, I mean, if you can't go out and perform for the wrestling fans, there's another way of entertaining.
I don't think he'll make as much in stand-up comedy.
I
don't know. If he's good
unless
enough.
he were to break up big, you know, like a big-name comedian, but...
If he's good enough.
I haven't heard his material.
Maybe Gabriel Iglesias or Ralphie May.
I mean, even...
How come you pick, like, two of the biggest guys in comedy? Because there's comedians that make way more than that.
There's the biggest guys.
Not paycheck-wise or not.
Well, I mean,
they don't beat Kevin Hart, Jerry Seinfeld.
And you got Jerry Seinfeld, Kevin Hart. You could even go with Don Rickles, the late, great Don Rickles. Guys like that. You know, so Ziggler's always got another spot where he could go out and entertain some people.
Also, too, to tie it to making a wrestling-related anecdote, comparison. Mick Foley, sometimes he goes out and does comedy shows. In fact, I think last year or the year before, he was up in Peoria doing a comedy show at, I believe it was Jukebox Comedy Club.
That's pretty cool. I'd love to go see Mick Foley. He probably tells a lot of good jokes. I saw... Didn't they do a WWE Network special on one of his comedy shows?
Yeah, actually it was when they did the anniversary of the first Hell in the Cell match with him and Undertaker.
That's right. I remember enjoying it pretty well, so.
Yeah, the tooth through the nose, and smiling.
Yeah. But no, so then also rumored to have been leaving WWE, which... my notes are not up to date. I literally was taking these notes during school today, but I read after
Instead
school.
of taking notes on your schoolwork.
Well, that can be set aside. Anyway, but no, I had read that Mike and Maria...
We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, I'm real glad of that.
I remember that I read Mike and Maria Kanellis supposedly asked for their release, but afterward... Maria Kanellis went on a little bit of a rant on Twitter and said, "You guys don't know everything. WWE's always been supportive of me being a mother. And yeah, we've been on house shows, and Mike never quit touring to go take rehab.
Right.
He's been rehabbing on the road."
Wow.
So basically, Maria Kanellis says, "We're not going anywhere."
Right.
So stick around. Anyway, let's get on to this week's action with Monday Night Raw to start with. We saw Sasha Banks and Ronda Rousey are kind of on a rocky road ahead of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and also this week, tying it to Ronda Rousey and Sasha Banks, there's also the reveal of the women's tag team titles, which I've got to say... When they made the debut of the titles, I think they look a lot better than the actual men's tag titles. I mean, they look like a penny on one show and a nickel on another show.
That's right. Well, they both look like nickels now. It's just one looks like you've got like strawberry jam in the leather, and then the other looks like you made it out of blueberries, something like that, It's a terrible analogy, I know. I'm tired. It's whatever, though.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Rob's opinions are his own and not necessarily those of Superhold, PWA, or 217 Radio.
Well, hey, I mean, I'm just saying, I think the women's tag titles could be the best looking belts in WWE right now.
I think right now it's a kind of tie between the women's tag titles and the...
But did you notice that the women's tag belts have the spots on the sides for the IV plates?
Yep.
I think a toss-up right now, a tie for the best-looking titles in WWE have to be the women's tag titles and the NXT UK tag titles.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did just reveal those, didn't they?
Yep, and they just
Those are good looking. Those are good looking. Yeah, it was, I forget what their names are.
James Drake and Zach Gibson.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. They beat Mustache Mountain, and I wish... For some reason, I'm such a mark for this move. I wish Mustache Mountain would have tapped out to Shanley Gates. All right?
Yeah, that is an awesome move.
For a second, I thought he was about to say the Mustache Ride.
There went PG-13 right out the window.
Only for those who know what he's talking about, which we can only hope is not too many people. Anyway, also on Raw this week, we had Bobby Lashley as the new Intercontinental Champion, which I hate.
I like it.
I'm not a fan of Bobby Lashley.
I like Bobby Lashley. I'm slightly annoyed with Leo Rush.
I wouldn't say slightly annoyed. I'd say I want to kick. Please cover your ears if there are children watching. I'd want to kick that bastard upside his head.
Now, let me put it like this. I like Leo Rush, the wrestler.
Again, Rob's comments are his own and not necessarily...
I like Leo Rush, the wrestler. Leo Rush, the manager, completely annoying.
As a wrestler, I'll admit, Leo Rush is good. But he needs to keep the microphone away from his mouth.
Lashley.
No, stop. Lashley. Stop. No. I can only imagine it. The piercing was, Lashley. No.
I'd rather listen to Brock cut a promo without Heyman.
Oh, God.
Oh, my Lord. That's even worse.
That's
Actually,
You got a problem with me?
Oh, Lord.
it's just like a male version of Ronda Rousey with about the same voice, for being honest. Again, my opinions are my own and don't reflect those of the sleeper hold.
No, he's giving the disclaimer.
But no, I'm not a fan of Lashley being the Intercontinental Champion, but I do see maybe why they would have taken it off of Ambrose. And that's to kind of push Ambrose higher up toward the main event.
It could be.
Because I could see Ambrose getting a shot at Lesnar.
Well, we're going to have to see what happens after, you know, the main
More
event.
so, what I could see happening is Rollins winning the Rumble, Rollins winning the title from Lesnar, and then Ambrose and Rollins main eventing SummerSlam for the title.
Yeah, but before we even get to there, somebody else is challenging Lesnar here soon.
Yeah.
I was just going to get to that. Finn Balor will be challenging Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship because Braun Strowman's elbow's still hurt, and for some reason they brought him back.
And decided.
And it's finally about time that Balor got his chance to reclaim the title that he was
Right.
It's
first
been
to
about
hold.
2.5 years. I think maybe now's about the time. Balor, we can see, is almost 100%, it looks like, from his shoulder surgery. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Balor's had his hands full with that dastardly Jinder Mahal as of late, you know.
Shanti.
I don't know how to say that. I don't know if it's an R or an N or LMNOP. I don't know. Shanti. I have no idea. We can only assume.
I know,
we know
but what I
it
want to
is.
see is I want to see the Beast versus the Demon.
I think they'll bring out the Demon for this one.
Oh, yeah, they
I
almost
think
have to.
They have to. We haven't seen the Demon in almost 1.5 years now.
Yeah, I think the last time.
Would have been, what, TLC 2017, which was in October of 2017.
I think so.
That was Balor versus what? AJ Styles, I think.
No, I don't think it was AJ.
Yeah, it was I remember it was AJ because it was supposed to be Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt got whatever sickness that was.
Yeah, because Bray Wyatt was doing
The
the whole
divorce split.
sister out Abigail thing. Yeah, that's right. It was.
I'm leaving my wife for the ring announcer, please.
So, shh, we don't bring that up.
Purely speculation. Purely.
Why do you think you
There
don't
ain't no
see?
speculation.
Why do you think you don't see JoJo that much anymore on Raw? Why has it been Rich Brennan for a few weeks now?
Oh, I know.
Anyway, so basically, as much as I'd love to see Balor win the title, I think Brock might win it or might retain it.
I think.
But then again, I think they could go into Balor versus Rollins.
Balor versus Rollins, I would pay to see that pay-per-view, especially if that's a WrestleMania main event.
Because not only is that Balor's rematch
I'd pay to
for
watch
the
just
title,
about all the pay-per-views now that they're only $9.99 a month.
And I guarantee that would be a main event I wouldn't walk out on.
And see, here's the thing. It would be crazy to see that because it was Rollins versus Balor at SummerSlam for the first Universal Champion.
Very true.
Fast forward to WrestleMania, Balor got that title back, and Rollins rightfully gets his rematch for the Universal title against Balor. Well, not necessarily rightfully gets his. I'm sure he's not going to pull a KC Jackson and be like, well, I get my rematch against you from SummerSlam 2 years ago, but I also won the Royal Rumble, so I get 2 matches for it now. But we'll get to KC Jackson in a minute, too.
Yeah, we could just glance over that.
Anyway, we also had SmackDown this week, which saw... So after we just finished up a women's segment, AJ Styles makes his way down the ring, high-fiving people, walks all the way around the ring, jumps over the barricade, walks all the way up the steps, and outside to the concessions area, and starts handing out merchandise.
he's slinging T-shirts and gloves.
I'm pretty sure I saw a guy named Hot Tamale Daniel Perez who wrestled as the last 01 show as one of those fans standing out there. But then Daniel Bryan out of nowhere.
He needed some merchandise.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan in that good old black hoodie just kind of started attacking AJ Styles and gave him a nice little back suplex, it looked like, through the concessions area with the
Man, it's bad enough when the
chips
ringside tables weren't safe, but now you got to worry about the damn concession stands and merchandise tables now.
If this is a real WWE event, you have to know this is a setup because I'm pretty sure right there next to them was the actual concessions place.
Right.
They had like a small platter of tortilla chips and then a mustard dispenser and a ketchup dispenser right next to it with hot dogs laid out.
Yeah.
Nothing to cook anything with.
And I personally used to work concessions for a venue. They ain't gonna just leave food just laying out.
That's not a smart idea because someone could just walk up, a hot dog, and
hot
not
dog.
pay.
Wow.
And there's only one guy back there too, so he's handling someone else, turned completely around, handing him a shirt, and this guy's just like, all right, I have a hot dog with ketchup, mustard. So I mean, you got to know it was a setup, but hey, AJ Styles I think went through a table, or Daniel Bryan, one of them.
Somebody went through a table.
A table broke. And the Spanish announcers were like holding on to their hearts, like, thank God.
They're like, "Whew, wasn't us."
But then again, I don't think they have Spanish announcers on SmackDown weekly.
If they do, they're not down at ringside.
Definitely not, because they learned their lesson. Anyway, so next up, we were set up to have Samoa Joe versus Mustafa Ali, and Samoa Joe said, "Bop. Nope. I'm going to beat the hell out of you.
Not going to happen.
Because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in my very first Royal Rumble." Now watch. He's going to get in that Royal Rumble match and be eliminated like that.
Oh, yeah. Because we all know, the ones that talk the most crap get eliminated the quickest.
Yep. And I could just see that's where they're going with it. And that's going to lead into something probably no one wants to see about Samoa Joe complaining that he should have won the Rumble. Wants some sort of rematch. Someone shuts him up, and that's the end of that.
Pretty much, yes.
Yes. Anyway, then also, in the main event of SmackDown, we had The Miz. 2/3 co-bestie in the world.
I mean,
something like that. 2/3 co-bestie in the world. The Miz defeated Sheamus ahead of their tag team title match at the Royal Rumble on Shane McMahon's birthday. So there you go. Shane McMahon said, "All right, Miz, I'll let you have. We can have this title match. I'll be your teammate. Let's have this title match." And the Miz beat Sheamus 1-on-1. So next week we'll have to see the fallout from that and the lead up in the final show before the Royal Rumble.
Very true.
The final cable televised show before the Royal Rumble. They have like 3 more shows after it.
Right.
205 Live, NXT UK, NXT, main event somewhere in there too.
Is main event still a thing?
Main event is still a thing. They record it every single deal. So yeah, every week that's what it is. But no, I think it's your turn now.
Okay.
Let's move on to the insider, Eric Zeidler.
We're not going to quite move along from WWE coverage just yet because we did have the NXT TakeOver UK this past Saturday.
That's right.
What's the best thing to do when you're snowed in?
Watch
some wrestling.
That's right.
So, just cover a couple of the matches that they had. As we alluded to earlier, they did crown brand new NXT UK champions, and that's
right.
James Drake and Zach Gibson. They beat Mustache Mountain to become the first NXT UK tag champions.
First ever.
There was also a match that was Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin jumped Travis Banks as he was coming into the building.
Right.
They had a stinking feeling that this was going to happen because those two have been feuding back and forth leading up to TakeOver. But they were prepared this time. General Manager Johnny Saint brought out the Demon. Well, actually, not the Demon.
The
Balor
man,
Club,
the
Finn
man.
Balor.
Yeah.
Which Finn Balor had a hand in training Jordan Devlin.
That's right.
As well as
I mean,
Becky
they're
Lynch.
basically the same person, really. Finn Balor and Jordan Devlin, because Finn Balor trained Jordan Devlin. They're from the exact same place. They look pretty damn similar.
Right. I mean, Jordan Devlin, I would say he's probably the Lucky Charms leprechaun version of Finn Balor. I mean,
and they sound about the same, too. Good Lord.
What's the Irish accent?
Yeah. Okay.
Also, too, we have a new NXT UK Women's Champion as Toni Storm defeated Rhea Ripley.
That's right. Very nice match there. I did watch that one, actually.
And in the main event, they had champion Pete Dunne taking on Joe Coffey.
Yep.
Which, there's something very significant with this match. Pete Dunne did retain his heavyweight championship. We also got the debut of a very big German monster.
Yes.
Walter.
Scary.
This guy's chops scare the... Where's the bell? Scares the hell out of me.
You don't need a bell for that. That's all right.
It sounds like dynamite going off. But yes, Walter made his NXT UK debut at NXT TakeOver.
That's right. And for those of you that can't imagine a Walter chop, the only way I know how to put it is from seeing it at a show. Take Guy Smith's chop. Multiply that by 1,000.
Yes.
There you go.
Very good analogy.
Yes. But no, so a lot of fun with NXT TakeOver UK. It was actually a very nice show.
Yes. And also, too, I got a little Ring of Honor news. Over the last weekend as well, there's a couple of guys went down with injury. Flip Gordon, he is going to be out a minimum of 4 weeks because he had sprained his MCL. It takes about a minimum of 4 weeks to recover from that. And Chris Sabin tore his ACL in his right knee.
Damn.
And that recovery time for that is anywhere between 6 to 9 months.
Yeah. Not good. I don't like seeing guys get injured.
Me either. Also, too, last time we were on air, we discussed All Elite Wrestling.
That's right.
And at that time, all we had signed, officially signed, was Brandy Rhodes, Cody, the Bucks, and Hangman Page. Well, the following Tuesday, they had their little rally and where they announced that All In 2 Double or Nothing will be happening on May 25th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. And they also announced some signings. Some new talent coming in that you would know very well. One of which is Pac.
Pac.
Formerly known as Neville.
That's right.
And they alluded to a big feud between him and Hangman Page for a title that hasn't even been confirmed or not with the AEW Heavyweight Championship. They've also announced that Joey Janela and Penelope Ford have signed contracts with them. Dr. Britt Baker is the first women's wrestler signed to AEW to be the first women's competitor for their women's division. And the biggest announcement came out very last. Chris Jericho.
That's right.
Also,
and now he just made the list.
He did. Which, coincidentally enough, when he was announced, they took him out, the then, now, and forever thing that they show before the shows on WWE.
Oh, yeah, they took him right out of it.
Like
and
that.
put Cesaro in there.
Yeah.
Put Cesaro in. Also, too, another signing that was announced was SoCal Uncensored.
That's right.
Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, and Scorpio Sky. And one last little tidbit I had was New Japan former junior heavyweight champion at the end of the month he's confirmed that he is finishing up his contractual agreements at the end of January to become a part of WWE. WWE come
Very
February.
nice.
Well, I'm sure he'll probably start out in NXT, and then hopefully they keep him away from 205 Live.
Please.
He is a junior,
Please.
but he deserves so much more.
Please. Also,
That's my opinions.
I did read that Billy Gunn was signed as a producer for
Yes,
AEW too.
I forgot about that. So Billy Gunn and BJ Whitmer from Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah, very cool. So they've got a decent roster. They're all right. Nowhere near WWE.
But give it time. A lot of the things that they've been saying and announcing makes it think. It makes one think that they could come put the hurt into poor Vince. I mean, they're even looking to give their their talent health insurance.
That's right. And I mean, I was just being a smartass there. WWE really needs to step it up if they want to even compete with AEW at this point.
Right.
Because AEW is going to take the world by storm.
Oh, yeah. But they got to do a few things first before something like that happens. So I'm sure we're going to get the same stuff out of WWE that we've been getting the past month, year, whatever. They're going to have to get a TV deal.
Yep, that's right. They were searching for one.
Yeah, last I heard that they were in negotiations with Turner Broadcasting for either TBS or TNT.
How ironic would that be?
Right. I would be fine with it as long as they aired at 6:05 on Saturday nights.
That's right. That would be very cool.
Now, with the trademarks that they filed before they officially announced AEW was for a Tuesday night show, which makes sense because when SmackDown makes the jump to Fox, they're going to be changing to a Friday night.
Oh, they are? I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Friday Night SmackDown's back. Ooh.
Yeah. So we could have...
It was originally on Thursday nights.
I know. But when I started watching wrestling, it was always Friday Night SmackDown. It's just some nostalgia.
And that's all I have. I'm going to hand it back to the Anal East for some independent
PG show.
Local coverage. Lob reach around.
Yes, Lob reaches around.
Lob reach around.
Anyway, we're back and we're ready to go because it's time to cover some local independent stuff. The first show is going to be 01 USA on January 26th, 2019. It's a Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can tell you that right now. It's in Mattoon, Illinois, 1701 Wabash in Mattoon, the Burgess Osborne Auditorium. I believe doors are at 6 o'clock, showtime 7 for the Retribution Rumble. And I can go over this card, just the 4 announced matches really quickly. To start, we've got a best of 7 series going on right now. It's match, I think, 3, 4, maybe 5 of this best of 7 series between Oliver Kane and Frank Wyatt. I'm not quite sure on the standpoint of that. I've been really busy preparing Dan Liplock for the main event. We'll get there, of course. But the next match is going to be a 3-way dance for the Tag Team Championship. It's going to be No New Friends, Danny Adams and Kevin Lee Davidson, taking on the Lowlifes, which is Jordan Perry and Joey O'Reilly, taking on the Big Beef, Jake Garvin, and a mystery partner.
So, let me see if I can understand this correctly. There is the Big Beef.
The Big Beef.
Okay.
And then,
I heard you correctly.
And then the third announced match is a junior heavyweight championship match. It's a ladder match as the Warhorse Jake Parnell defends against who has been dubbed in 01 as the high-flying speed machine Jake Lander.
That's going to be a barn burner.
It will definitely, because I've seen Jake Lander take on Jake Parnell twice now. This will be the third time, and I think it's going to be a hell of a show. Of a match, I should say. And then the main event, the heavyweight championship, is on the line, vacated for medical reasons by Christian Rose. It's the heavyweight title Royal Rumble match. The night before the actual Royal Rumble, ironically or not. Here are the announced entrants. I don't believe this is the order of entry, but the first announced entrant I have on my list here is Savannah Stone.
Interesting.
Cooter Daniels.
I thought we were staying PG here.
Right off the farm, Cooter Daniels let the pigs get out and found his way into the wrestling show.
Is that the same Cooter from Dukes of Hazzard?
I don't.
It's purely speculation at this point.
All he wears is jean coveralls, if that makes a difference.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Does he drive a tow truck? Fix a General Lee on occasion?
Probably. The third announced entrant is Ezra Zealous. We got Alexander Herzog, Kevin Lee Davidson, Danny Adams, Joey O'Reilly, Jordan Perry, Handsome Dan Liplock, accompanied by yours truly. You've got the Filth King Nick Brubaker, Mr. Big, Mean, and Nasty Frank Wyatt, the 5'7" gift from heaven Oliver Kane, the Warhorse Jake Parnell, the high-flying speed machine Jake Lander. Here he comes again, the big beef Jake Garvin.
Where's the beef?
Shank Barzini, the Great Cardini, Isan Hadiv.
Wow.
Even some more Springfield generalized talent as we see Johnny Kincaid enter the match.
One half of Sweet Street.
Victor Analog. The current 01 USA Women's Champion, who next Saturday will be defending that title against Sierra. Reign Victoria. Riley McGuire. Orion Creed. Dangerous Drew Thomas, and of course Sierra have all been announced for this match.
Interesting.
They're all great performers, and they're all going to make an impact inside of 01. That's for sure.
So they're. I'm not trying to sound sexist or anything, but they're going to let the women get in there and rumble it up with the men.
Of course.
Awesome.
Think how great it would be for one woman to walk out as the 01 USA Women's Champion and the 01 USA Men's Heavyweight Champion.
That would be pretty awesome.
One title for each shoulder, defend them both in the same night. That's right. I could see Reign Victoria or Sierra pulling that off. I don't know.
And we just seen Sierra have a heck of a match too herself. So yeah, I could see her. One on each shoulder.
That's right. Sierra puts on a hell of a good match, especially when she's at PWA, 1401 North 8th Street, the 8th Street Gym right here in Springfield, Illinois. PWA will present their next show February 2nd, 2019. It is a Saturday, as always, for Unpresidential 2. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, fallout from the last show, I don't really think we got to cover anything from the last show.
No, because the show hadn't happened yet.
Let's take a look at what happened at Blood, Sweat, and Tears real quick. Well, we saw the good old... I can't remember anything from the show, actually. Let's... I remember some things, but, it's hard. Okay, the opening contest, now I remember. The Warhorse Jake Parnell was defeated by former PWA Tag Team Champion, the Great Cardini.
Number 2, we also saw a new tag team.
The new tag team was formed. The Mad Hat. Well, it's been formed. Yeah. They came out to say a few words. The Mad Hatter, Victor Analog, joined together as one in Holy Communion, while Diana Ross played in the background because they were coming out. of the curtain to say a few words to Attitude Inc.
Oh,
Lord.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Hada and Analog, please do not kill me.
Oh, they are so gonna kill you.
Anyway, but no, so...
By the way, I just want to say this real quick. If they do happen to kill him, me and Kluganator here, we'll be taking resume suggestions for a new co-host. If they happen to, off him.
I'd say Get Rated Ralph from 01.
Everybody will be considered if they submit a resume.
Anyway, I mean, hey, I'll probably have it coming to me at that point. But no, so Victor Analog and Hada said, listen, we had a tag title match last month, and it ended in a no contest because referee Joseph Pullman is blind and didn't see Tom Arson boot Victor Analog right in front of him.
Figure as young as he is, you'd be able to see those things. His eyes can't be as bad as...
I don't think his eyes are that bad.
No.
Because they
have to be. He's a referee.
Oh,
yeah, true.
I thought it was a requirement.
I'm pretty sure we made him take an eye test. He passed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But no, so Joseph Pullman called it a no contest, whatever. But no, so Victor Analog and Hada said, get out here, Attitude Inc. We want a rematch. Stephanie King, the self-proclaimed president of PWA, who's not really the president of PWA, but calls herself the president of PWA, made her entrance to Attitude Inc.'s music.
Wasn't there, when we came into the venue for the show, didn't somebody come around and lay out some propaganda for her as president?
They were all over the place. They hung them up on the PWA banners right next to the entranceway.
On each of the corners of the ring?
It said P. Stephanie King A. And then you had one on each corner of the ring. They came out passing them out to the crowd.
I think I've seen a few fans try to use them to,
That was Chuck Thompson. We'll get there in a minute, trust me. But no, I remember I got up close and personal with one of these flyers because before the show, we just opened doors and Attitude Inc. were trying to hang these flyers everywhere. I told him, you can't do that. Guy Smith looks at me and says, turn around and tell me what that flyer says. So, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read it. It can't be that hard to read.
Right.
I turn toward it and I feel a hand grab onto my head and shove my head as hard as it could into a metal ring post.
I thought you were going to go a different way with that. I thought they were going to tell you, that they taped it on your back like a kick me sign almost.
Oh, no. No, I got up close and personal with it. And then Guy Smith's excuse was apparently, according to Zero Hype Guy Smith, I was too excited by the beauty of Stephanie King in the picture and tried to kiss it. That's the exact words of Zero Hype Guy Smith. And it's not true, so don't believe it. But no, so... Okay, anyway... Moving on, Stephanie King made her way to the ring, and she got up on the apron. She looked at me, and she thinks with just a snap of her fingers, she can make me do whatever she wants me to.
Well, if she thinks she's the president, then yeah, she probably would think that.
Well, yeah, and so, just to play along, to humor her, per se, I hold the ropes for her. She gets in the ring, and she scolds me about holding the ropes for a lady.
You're just being a gentleman, holding the rope so she can get in so she didn't have to, squat under the ropes.
That's right, I had to hold the ropes.
Right, you were being a gentleman.
I'm being a gentleman, It totally wasn't because she looked at me, snapped her fingers, and said, get over here. Anyway, so Stephanie King said, listen, I'm the president. You have to earn a tag team title match. You have to win a tag team match and establish yourself as a tag team. So here's what we're going to do. Hada and Victor Analog are going to take on the Legion of Magnus. And Hada and Victor Analog decimated them.
So, with the Legion of Magnus, did we ever figure out exactly where Magnus Stand is and where? Is it somewhere near Truth or Consequences or Parts Unknown?
I think it's near Parts Unknown.
I have no idea where.
Next country over or something.
You know, we got to get him on air sometime. Get him on here sometime to. So we can find out exactly where Magnistan is.
But I can only imagine what Magnistan looks like, to be honest.
I'm picturing it. I've never seen it myself, but I'm picturing it as a barren wasteland.
I just picture the ground is all gray ash, and it's like hills in the background of gray ash with like a red orange sky, kind of like sunset, but all the time, and it's just all those henchmen walking around, and they're all black get up, and it's just, that's it.
Actually, you know what? I got a better analogy to describe my interpretation of what I think that Magnistan looks like. You ever see Lord of the Rings?
I haven't seen it, no.
Cluner, you seen Lord of the Rings?
I fell asleep through Fellowship.
For those of you who've seen Lord of the Rings, maybe you can make sense of
I'm
this.
not putting anything down against the film.
I don't have a problem with it.
I just couldn't stay awake through it.
I'm just talking about the Eye of Sauron, the barren wasteland with all the orcs and everything. That's my interpret. But instead of orcs and Magnistan, they're the minions. They just repopulate like that.
Why does he have so many minions? I mean, I've seen so many of them get hurt. I'm pretty sure he's killed a few of them because, I mean, like, take back in September, for example, when they cost him a match.
I think he puts out an ad on
against
Craigslist as, like, wanted minion to wear all black.
Needed.
Must be willing to get
must wear black slacks, black sweatshirt, and black mask.
Because we've never actually been able to confirm.
I mean, we've never had one of them unmasked.
True. That's very true.
And they have to be real people. I can't think of a creature that just has, like, all black everywhere except human hands and human eyes right here.
I think we have questions that needs answers. We don't need to get Magnus on.
We need to get.
We need to bring him in from Magnistan for a visit.
Magnistan needs to be guarded by the henchmen, which we know the henchmen do an amazing job at what they're paid to do.
I think we have questions that need answers.
We do, definitely, and maybe at the same time he can tell us all about his wrestling career at the same time.
Exactly, you know, maybe next time
maybe he can tell us where Stan Salinger went. Because I have no idea. I've heard of him. I've heard tales.
I've heard tales of him too.
But I've never ever seen him.
It's like, you know, it's kind of like the legend of Bigfoot. You know, if you've heard tales about him.
I've even seen video of him, too. But there's videos of Bigfoot.
Exactly.
I mean, it also ranks in there with the mystery of where the hell is El Diablo Silverado?
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
That's what I was thinking.
We have questions that needs answers.
Like, why is Guy Smith not the alpha male anymore? Because he was the alpha male.
Well, now
he's zero height.
Yeah, because he doesn't need to be an alpha male. He needs
Whatever happened to Little Inspiration? I miss Little Inspiration. So
whatever happened to the stable 4GQ?
Whoa!
I think I've heard of that. I don't know what that is.
You've already named a couple of the members.
Stan Salinger
and Alpha Male Guy Smith, yeah.
What else was there? Tom Arson?
Oh, I don't recall. It so many years ago.
Yeah. But anyway, we got questions that needs answers.
Guys, come on. Come to the show. We had Tom Arson on before.
Yeah, I distinctly remember he was putting the fear of God into you.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It was only a few weeks.
Or, yeah,
it was only a few weeks after he'd headbutted me.
Yeah.
Put me out of commission for a couple of weeks. But no. Well, either way, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
We'll figure things out. Because Hada and Victor Analog did defeat the Legion of Magnus in quite convincing fashion, too.
Yeah.
Another match that took place, we saw Dan Liplock defeat Riley McGuire by disqualification. Because he pulled the old Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, the lie, cheat, steal.
Yeah. Except, here's what Dan Liplock did. Grabs chair, slides in the ring, everything's going well. how's Joseph Pullman supposed to believe Riley McGuire or Dan Liplock was hit with a chair? Because Dan Liplock didn't hit it off the mat first. He just threw it. But Joseph Pullman believed him. I guess his hearing's going bad too. Because he rang the bell.
He turned around. He saw one guy with the chair standing near another one that was down on the mat.
Can we start a GoFundMe for referee Joseph Pullman? You know, get him an eye exam and an hearing exam.
Get him a hearing aid and a couple of contacts is what he needs.
Yeah. I mean, he is young, so he can avoid glasses. I mean,
definitely. I mean, that's the new craze anyway.
Yeah.
Like Google Glass or whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, after that, then we saw the tag team title match. Guy Smith and Spencer Powers versus Truck Thompson and Jimmy Carrot. Great match. Truck Thompson and Jimmy Carrot almost had it. Referee, I believe it was referee Scott Barons was in this match. Scott Barons distracted by Stephanie King up on the apron. And here comes Jimmy Carrot with the Gold Star Press onto Spencer Powers. Cover. Referee turned around just a tad too late. Spencer kicked out. Everything's going peachy. They're about to win yet again. They're going to get it this time. All of a sudden, here's Tom Arson with the attack as the referee's turned around. Or no, it was referee Joseph Pullman's turned around. Tom Arson with the attack again. But this time, Joseph Pullman wasn't looking. So this time, he really didn't see it. And as Jimmy Carrot went running toward something, I think it was Stephanie King on the outside, Spencer Powers said, "Nope, roll up, handful of tights," and somehow they retained the titles.
Well, it sounds like exactly how they've retained the titles right there.
I'm not smart, okay? It's what happens when you take notes for the sleeper hold instead of notes for your schoolwork. Not that this is a bad thing to do. Either way, before I dig myself into a hole that I can't get out of, let's move on. After intermission, we saw Brian Ely make his way to the ring, and Brian Ely said, "Listen, Rip Mystic, last month you said I keep cheating and it's getting me nowhere. I'm taking shortcuts and it's getting me nowhere. Well, let's find out again tonight." Tom Arson made his way to the ring for whatever reason, advocating for Stephanie King to be the new president, holding a sign up and everything. And for some reason, Brian Ely was like, "All right, let's be a team." Rip Mystic's at ringside. Brian Ely and Tom Arson are ready. Sweet Street made their way to the ring. Said, "Listen, we don't want to hear a couple of old-timers run their mouths. We want to have a match." And so they had a match. And here's what happened. Tom Arson and Jimmy Carrot are brawling on the outside of the ring. Tom Arson and Johnny Kincaid are on the outside of the ring, brawling. Brian Ely hooking up for a fisherman's suplex, comes forward. IJ Sweet drops down into a small package. Referee's distracted by Arson and Kincaid on the outside of the ring. And, damn it. And referee's distracted by Arson and Kincaid on the outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Small package by IJ Sweet. Referee's not looking, and here's where things got screwy. Just a month ago, Rip Mystic said, "Brian Ely, quit taking shortcuts, quit cheating, it's getting you nowhere." Well, Brian Ely almost lost the match while the referee's back was turned. However, Rip Mystic slid in and reversed the small package, so Brian Ely was pinning IJ Sweet. Referee turned around, counted the 3, rang the bell. What the hell, Rip Mystic? And someone else we got to get on the show and answer a few questions.
I'd love to hear more about Rip Mystic myself.
Either way, Sweet Street were standing in the middle of the ring, hurt after their loss, and all of a sudden that magical song came on. It's the same feeling. There it was. Candy Deluxe is back. Candy Deluxe with his normal spiel, twerking outside the ring, gets in the ring. For those of you who don't know who I am the women's temptation, the stallion sensation, the reason your women leaves you for a dream vacation. I am Candy Deluxe.
Which I know Candy Deluxe is the analyst's favorite wrestler.
Favorite PWA wrestler. That's right.
He is a #1 fan.
It's remarkable how he looks a lot like former President Archie.
You know, I was beginning to wonder if I was the only one that picked up on that.
They got to be twins or something.
Separated at birth.
They're not. Candy Deluxe is here, and he says, listen, you two have all the potential in the world, more than anyone in that locker room combined has. But you're not using it the right way. I'm here. I'm going to show you how to use it. Let's go. Jay Sweet and Johnny Kincaid said, all right, we're in. And then Candy pulled out this big lollipop out of the back of his pants. Threw it up in the air.
I'm not going there.
I'll go there.
Let me. Here's exactly what he said. The exact quote is, "Who wants my big stick?" Throws lollipop into the crowd.
I thought it was, "Who wants my big blow stick?"
He said, "Who wants my big little pop stick?" Something like that.
I don't recall. I'm just.
Something along those lines.
And he threw it into the crowd, and I thought there was going to be a fight between the fans because like 4 people rushed at it at the exact same time.
I heard that the person that actually got it, they had like 10 blow pops in it.
Yeah. Candy Deluxe knows how to give out candy in a deluxe way.
You know, I still think there's something missing, though. I think he's missing just Peppermint Patty.
Peppermint Patty. I mean, she. I think her twin sister was there at Brawloween. But it's not the real Peppermint Patty. We need Peppermint Patty.
The
Peppermint Patty from the 3 CW days.
And she can manage Sweet Street and Candy Deluxe.
That's right. Where's Peppermint Patty? Why is she not here anymore? Either way. We also had women's action.
Yes.
Where? What was it? Who won that match?
It was
Harley beat Sierra. That's
yes.
right. I couldn't remember what happened. I'm sorry. It was a long night, trust me. And then you had main event time. PWA Regional Heavyweight Championship. KC Jackson demands Jake Lander give him his match that he earned at Brawltoberfest. And Jake Lander beat him.
Yes.
Fair and square. No matter how much Attitude Inc. got involved. Which before the bell even rang, Attitude Inc. ran out and attacked Jake Lander.
Hey, it happened before the bell rang, so it's...
They got banned from ringside during the match. Jake Lander retained. And KC demanded another match. Jake Lander couldn't figure out why, and I had to be the bearer of bad news. He looked at me trying to find a reason. Why are you making me do this? I said, man, yeah, that was the match from Brawltoberfest, but technically, he's also contractually obligated a rematch from Spectacle that you never gave him. Jake Lander said, shut up. Referee, is this true? Referee said, yeah, this is true. Jake Lander said, shut up. Grabs the microphone. Fine, I beat you once. I'm going to do it again. Jake Lander, he was on top. Jake Lander hooks him for what he calls the J Driller. KC reverses into the jacked up. 1, 2, 3. To the crowd's disbelief, KC Jackson is now the first ever 4-time PWA Regional Heavyweight Champion. Thinks soon KC Jackson might somehow become a 5-time. God. The first ever 5-time PWA champion at all in history.
Gimmick infringement.
I'll never do that again, I promise.
I mean, Lord, KC Jackson's racking up those titles.
Sorry, Booker.
Sorry. Please don't sue me. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, but no, KC Jackson's the regional heavyweight champion. And on Presidential, it's going to be interesting to see who his challenger is. Will he have a challenger? Will he defend the title? Because there were times Casey Jackson refused to defend the title. Well, that was with President Archie there.
Yeah, see, this time around, he doesn't have President Archie to do his bidding.
He has President Stephanie King, which he's
but
kind
she's
of
not
allied
president.
with. She thinks she's president, and somehow she's being allowed to put matches together.
Well, I mean, I could go around thinking that I'm the king of the world and wouldn't make it any more true.
True. I mean, I think I'm the greatest manager. Wait a second. Hold on. What?
Delusions.
It's true, though. I am the greatest manager of all time. Anyway, we're not getting into that. Basically, Unpresidential is going to be a lot of fun. 1401 North 8th Street, Springfield, Illinois, February 2nd. It's a Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're running short on time, so I think I'm going to cut this whole thing off there. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into the Sleeper Hold. It's been a lot of fun. For the Cooganator and the Insider, Eric Zeidler, I've been the Analyst, Robert Leach, and we'll see you next week on the Sleeper Hold, where there are no disqualifications on the topics and falls count anywhere. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.